Jobs, jobs, jobs. Hey everyone, it's Wolfgang. So this video is about August, the month of August, not July. So this is also about manufacturing jobs in particular. So it's a slice of the jobs situation that's not really being reported. There is some jobs news, but it is talking about the long-term unemployed. And it's only up through July of this year. And the long-term unemployed actually spiked highest in mid to late 2024. So that sort of information is a little bit dated, and we're not really talking about that data here. This is about August, last month, not July. The job information that's out there now is about July, 2 months ago. So this is about August, last month, and it's about manufacturing. So the Standard & Poor's Purchasing Managers Index in August of this year rose pretty dramatically from 49.8 to 53. Now, that doesn't sound like a huge leap, but it actually is. For the Purchasing Managers Index, for 1 month to rise that much is a huge increase in manufacturing jobs. So it's the strongest increase since 2022. So I want to say something about the manufacturing jobs aspect of this. There are more employers who are bringing manufacturing jobs back to this country, so it's starting to have an impact. And this strongest increase in 3 years is reflective of that impact. The fact that there are now more companies that are doing manufacturing and moving, onshoring manufacturing to the US. So the summer of 2025, that's up through August, not July. The news about jobs that you might read today, that's only through July. This is for the whole summer, for August. It was the strongest expansion of manufacturing in the United States since the first half of 2022. That is great news. The reason that's great news is this country needs jobs. It is more humane for the public to have access to employment so they can take care of themselves and take care of their families. So this is great news. The manufacturing coming back onshore is good. So August was better than both June and July. August was an increase in new manufacturing jobs. And generally, it's because of an increase in sales, manufacturing sales. So manufacturing hiring in August of 2025, last month, not July. Again, if you read about job data in the news lately, that was only through July, and that was long-term unemployed. This is about the manufacturing jobs in August, last month. So there were two sources. There was two sources of hiring, manufacturing hiring last month in August. Number one, uncompleted existing manufacturing orders. So there was there's a backlog. In other words, in manufacturing orders, there's a backlog. So hiring occurred in August to take care of the existing manufacturing orders, the backlog, and new manufacturing sales in August last month created other hiring. So the jump in hiring in August of 2025 came from those two sources. So this is manufacturing. The manufacturing growth in the U.S. boosted the entire U.S. economy through the third quarter of 2025. So the effects of the onshoring of manufacturing are now starting to show up. Through August, the end of the third quarter, the end of the third quarter in 2025, the U.S. economy got a boost from the manufacturing jobs increase. There's a worker shortage now in manufacturing. Generally, it takes time to hire and train people for manufacturing jobs, for any job, basically. But because hiring is occurring in manufacturing, because there's an increase in manufacturing sales, there's sort of a delay effect in getting people hired and trained for the manufacturing jobs. The SBA, the Small Business Administration, has stepped in to help U.S. manufacturers. So it's pretty timely that they're doing this. At the same time, manufacturing jobs are being onshored at a higher rate than before. The SBA is stepping in with this program, the SBA Made in America Manufacturing Initiative. So what the SBA intends is to help manufacturers grow and scale to create jobs. Again, the entire, at least in my opinion, the brightest part of this is, creation of new jobs means more people will have access to decent income so that they can take care of themselves and their families. The SBA is stepping in to enable that, to help make that happen. So August, last month of 2025. So this is not really being reported as much as the hoopla about the long-term unemployed. That's been a problem since 2024. That's not what we're talking about here. August of 2025, employers added 75,000 new jobs. This is not just manufacturers. This is U.S. employers. They added 75,000 new jobs. That's an increase from the July number, which was 73,000. So I want to explain something so that you'll be able to interpret what you read if you read the news recently. New jobs added, total job openings. Okay? So 75,000 for August, which is not being widely reported yet, but the number's out there. 75,000 new jobs were created in August. That's an increase from July. So the new jobs added for August, for last month, 75,000. The total job openings is over 1 million, though. So what is the difference between new jobs added, people hired 75,000 in August? What's the difference between that and total job openings? So new jobs added, that means the number of people hired in a given month. In this case, 75,000 hired in August. So that's not the same as total job openings, which is over 1 million right now. That's for the entire U.S. All hiring. It's over 1 million. So there's a discrepancy between the number of people that need to be hired, which is over 1 million, and how many people are hired per month. In August, 75,000 new people were hired, new jobs added. So you have to, when you read jobs data, it's not just one number. It's broken into these two different categories. One category is all the jobs open, which is over 1 million, and the other category is new jobs added, 75,000 for the month of August. So keep that in mind as you read about the job situation in the U.S. The bottom line is manufacturing. In this video, I wanted to point out that manufacturing jobs are starting to take off, and the reason is the government is emphasizing the onshoring of manufacturing, and it's starting to show up in the jobs numbers. So we should expect this to increase over time. So how is this going to affect interest rates? If jobs are increasing, it will not, the Fed will not be in a hurry to lower interest rates if the job situation is favorable. But on the other hand, the long-term unemployed, which has been a problem. If you look up this data, long-term unemployed, anyone who's been without a job for 6 months or longer, 27 weeks is the official number, which is longer than half a year, longer than 26 months, right? The long-term unemployed has reached a high number in 2024, late 2024, last year. And the long-term unemployed are people who lose their job and are still getting unemployment benefits 6 months later, more than 6 months later, 27 weeks. That's happening because those people cannot find a new job as quickly as we would like. So the Fed may be looking at that number and deciding to lower interest rates to get those people employed. Because right now, manufacturing, that's just one part of the economy, right? Manufacturing, it's good that the manufacturing segment is healthy. Hiring is happening there. We sort of need the entire economy, though, to be in this condition, to be in this mode of creating jobs for people. So this, basically the video, I focused on manufacturing because onshoring of manufacturing jobs is happening. But the Fed will probably look at the long-term unemployed and may adjust interest rates downward at the September 16th meeting. So if you have any questions about this, please post in the comments. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions you have. I really want to thank everyone for watching. Have a great day.